What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Now, I'm just gonna get straight to the point. The things I'm about to tell you in this video, they're gonna be boring, but it'll make you an extra $22,000 in your coaching business without spending a lot of money on paid ads like most people do, most coaches do, or running countless cold outbound campaigns. Because you're doing that right now and you're still not getting a return on your investment, and you're stuck in this endless frustrating cycle of posting like 1 to 2 Instagram reels per day and like spending thousands of dollars on ads, sending 50 to 100 cold DMs per day, just grinding out these inputs. Yet when you look at your calendar, it's empty. You have no sales calls, you have no onboarding calls, you have basically the calendar is empty, and you wonder why. Well, the reason that these methods don't work as well as they used to, I'll admit that before, cold outreach, running paid ads would help you get a lot of clients, but that's not the case in today's day and age. There are much better methods out there that will help you acquire clients at scale. And the reason why these methods don't work as well as they used to is simply because we're currently in a massive trust recession. And let me just explain the trust recession from this graph. Now, on the x-axis, you can see the line represents the amount of trust the viewer has on the creator, and the y-axis is basically simply how effortlessly they are willing to pay you and invest in your offer. If you're selling a commodity offer, the viewers basically don't trust you that much. That means you're selling cheap offers, and you're compromising on price when you're selling your offer just so people can invest in what you're selling. And the trust recession zone is currently what we're in right now. People are skeptical, they're burned by other creators, and they aren't really willing to invest that easily. That's why there's resistance when they're investing in a coaching offer, and this is where most people are. But what you can do in order to sell your premium offer at scale and like sell it effortlessly is you need to build trust with the viewer. The more trust you have with the viewer, the easier it is to sell your premium offer, and it's also much easier to convert. People are literally willing to throw their credit cards at you if you have a good amount of trust with them. Now, the only thing you need to actually make the social acquisition funnel work is, number one, a proven offer. Your offer needs to be proven in order for it to actually convert well. Number two is your own or student results. Even if you don't have student results, your own results are extremely necessary so that you can show people, like, I'm telling you what I've already done. And third is your USP. You need to at least have your unique selling point established so that you can work around that. The fourth point is that you can either create videos like this on Miro or just like Google Doc videos. And the fifth point is you need to have a software recording app in place, like OBS, Loom, your camera, webcam. Now, with the social acquisition funnel, we helped one of the people we worked with, Jacqueline over here, book 7 calls in 24 hours, simply because we know what we're talking about. And right now, if you can give me like 15 to 20 minutes of your time, I'll explain the exact things you need to do to add $20,000 in your coaching business. Now, the first step is in-depth research. Most coaches out there are creating content based on assumptions and not demand. The market is literally already telling you what it wants to see more through search and content behavior. Yet 99% of people never listen to market signals, and they just create content based on their assumptions, which is why they end up making no money from the content they create and wonder why it's not converting well. And following this cycle for a longer period of time, they stop making content just because they don't see an ROI. However, I'm going to be telling you how you can create content that converts later onwards. But first, you need to understand the two important types of in-depth research: market research and content research. First, we're going to cover market research because that's how you can do good content research. Now, in market research, there are 3 core components. You need to understand market trends, you need to understand what are the insights of your consumer, and you need to actually do comparator analysis. Now, for market trends, you need to analyze new opportunities that are doing extremely well in your market, the industry trends that are going on, and the technological shifts that are happening in your market. For consumer insights, you need to nail down their psychographics. You need to understand their characteristics, their investing habits, what leads them in order to purchase a certain offer. You need to dial that down, and you need to understand their needs. Then comes demographics, which is their income, approximate age, what stage of business are they in, are they making 10 to 20k per month, or are they in the beginner stage, which stage are they exactly in. And third point is the ICP. You need to understand the ICP's pain points, desires, buying intent, content they consume, negative and positive beliefs. Now, in order to actually conduct this, first step you need to take is that you need to use the questions and unfiltered frustrations and objections you get on sales calls, one-on-one student calls, group coaching calls, DMs. You need to take all of this and use this as ammo for the content that you create, because instead of answering these questions again and again and getting frustrated and tired of answering these questions regularly, you can just create a YouTube video around it, so that whenever multiple people have the same question, you just redirect them to the YouTube asset, and then you wouldn't have to deal with the same situation again and again. Now, the second step you need to do is that you can integrate AI in this. You need to understand that while conducting market research, using AI is essential in 2026, but most people don't use it correctly, which is why they fail to conduct good, accurate market research. Now, you need to give AI a detailed insight on who is your targeted audience, the product description, and offer assets. For example, send them the transcript of your VSL, few YouTube videos, some screenshots of some conversations you've had with your ICP, anything that can help them understand what you're trying to do better. Now, you need to also understand that AI doesn't take care of your entire market research process. You still need to do stuff manually, like, for example, run a Instagram story sequence in order to get to know more about what your client wants and needs, your ICP wants and needs. However, it does really amplify how fast you understand the market. For example, it takes you 14 days to conduct market research. It will, using AI, you can trim it down to 4 days or 5 days. So it really is beneficial in that way. And anyone can really write their data into AI and expect it to spit back a lot of information around their ICP. But not many people know how to interpret and implement the data the AI gives in the content that you create. And lastly, you need to understand, once you get all of this information, you need to compile it in a market research doc, and AI will basically give you the list of problems your ICP is facing, the desired situation they need to have, the desire itself, what is the gap and how did they bridge it. This is literally just a few things. There's still a lot of things. The rest of the doc isn't I haven't shown it, but these are just only a few things AI will help you with. And once you really understand what your ICP is looking for, then you can create content that really resonates with your ideal client. Now, the second part is content research. Now, the ability to not only just look at content ideas, but to understand exactly what type of content brings you client, what type of content repels bringing you clients, what type of content is only for views, will serve you well in your coaching business, because then you'll be able to understand because then you'll be able to get an ROI from the content that you create. Now, the signals you need to be looking for to actually go through with the content research is that first you need to understand what are the topics people are demanding for. Then you need to see what angles keep pulling them in. What are some things people are doing that makes the viewers come back to their content again and again. You also need to see the conversion tactics they're using, how the video is structured, and what stage of awareness does this target. For example, a specific video will be made for top of funnel, while another video will be made for people who already know, have a pain point, and they know they have a pain point, and they're looking for a specific solution. So that's the first part. The second part is creating micro niche YouTube content. Now, the reason why this works so well, creating micro niche YouTube content, is that you build unlimited leverage. The inputs that you're doing, you actually see a direct, not even indirect, a direct ROI from it. and it also repels the wrong audience and pulls in the right one, so you don't have to waste time you don't have to waste time with unqualified leads. It's already going to be filtering that out for you and just pulling in your targeted audience. And lastly, it pre-sells the viewer on your offer, so you don't have to do any hard closes. You don't have to beg or anything. People will be pre-sold and nurtured to what you have to offer, which is genuinely the best case scenario that you can come across. Now, most people have a broad channel, and they create lifestyle content. They create content which is generalized and it appeals to everyone. But they don't understand that a broad channel will make you be like lost in the crowd. You'll be competing on price. You'll be attracting the wrong ICP from the content that you create. The 500 views, if you the 500 views you get, you'll be making $0 from it, and your broad channel will basically be a source of entertainment, even though you're creating content from on YouTube, thinking that, oh, this is a source of acquisition for me. But instead, if you have a broad channel, it's going to be acting as a source of entertainment, and then you're going to be wondering why it's not pulling in leads for you, which is because the content that you want to create doesn't align with your thinking process. Now, however, if you do have a niche channel, you're going to be getting warm inbound leads, building trust at scale. You're going to be separated from your competition. You'll essentially have your own mini market, and 500 views for you will equal like 5 figures. And it's going to be one of the best, if not the best, acquisition source out there for you. Now you need to understand how you can create micro niche YouTube content. The first thing you need to do is identify outliers. Now, for example, this is an example of a niche YouTube channel by Carson Reed. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how you can find an outlier. So this channel is averaging around like 1.5k, 1.7, 1.8k views on average. However, an outlier in this channel so far is this video over here and this video over here, 4.1k, 5.1k. Look, 1.3k, 1.8k, 2k, 2.4k, but 1.5k, and then boom, there's a 5.1k video and a 4.1k video. This shows that there's a demand for that certain video and you can execute on it. Now this guys, Carson is in the space of AI agent, in the AI agency space. For example, if you're a dropshipping coach, you can be, I started an AI dropshipping store from $0 to prove it's not luck. As simple as that. You need to basically see what format is doing well, and boom, once it does well, you need to double down on the format and basically just keep on doubling down on it until the trend dies out. Now, once you've spotted winning outliers from the channels that you actually look at, you need to understand, before executing on that winning outlier, first you need to validate it. Now, you basically need to go through and create the outlier video. If you see it like 3 to 4 times, don't only go through it with it if you only see it once, because that just doesn't justify the time and amount of effort you're putting into it. But if you see that video in 3 different niches, or in the same niche that you're operating it 3 different times, 5 different times, then that's definitely an idea you need to execute on. Second is research-driven packaging. You need to analyze how the thumbnails are made, how the titles are formed, so that you can replicate accordingly. And the conversion components, the main thing that most people miss out. What are the conversion-driving components? The hooks, the CTAs, like video structure, certain elements in the video. What are the conversion components, so that you can replicate them as well. Now, if you've made it this far, book a one-to-one call with me to see how we can potentially work together. And I'll even map everything out for your situation so that you can avoid most mistakes people are making and scale faster. So book a call down below if you're making 20k, over 20k per month, and you want to scale your coaching business. Now, the third and final point is video analyzation. I told you guys that these points will be boring. Sometimes you wouldn't want to like go through with it and actually do it, because it's serious, it's boring, it takes time. But this is where the money is at. This is how you can add $22,000 in your coaching business. First, you need to understand that why video analyzation is important. It's because if you're only creating content that doesn't have feedback loop, you're essentially just like, you don't know what works and what doesn't. So you don't know what aspects to tweak, improve, and change. which makes the conversion side of your content extremely weak. And at the end of the day, you're only creating content so that you can get more book calls, get more clients. And if the conversion side of your content is weak, there's no point of you essentially creating content. Now, this is the feedback loop you need to have in place. Now, the first thing that happens once a video is uploaded, most people would just go straight to this point. Like, video uploaded, next video. Video uploaded, next video. But that's not how it works. That's not how you're going to create videos that book you sales calls, make a lot of money. Instead, once the video is uploaded, these are the metrics you need to analyze. First up is the packaging. You need to see what the title of the video is. How is it structured properly? Is it an outlier? The thumbnail, is it something you've been seeing a lot popping up or no? Or is it just something you just created just because you didn't have the time to actually put in the research? What is the click-through rate? Usually, and like the click-through rate that is a good amount is like 1.5, so make sure, or 1.3, so make sure your click-through rate is above that. If it's below, we have a problem and you need to analyze why it's so low. Then you need to focus on, like, is the title not good enough? Is the thumbnail not good enough? Second part is the content itself. What is the hook and outro of the content? What is the retention rate? So if your retention rate is low, you need to basically see the hook of the video and the outro, then the pacing, retention tactics, so that people can so that your watch time is high and people stay till the end of your video, so that they get more nurtured and are much more likely to convert. What is the video quality and the structure of the video? Sorry, the spelling. And lastly, the conversion side. Now you need to see how many book calls are you getting from the video that you created. Like, if you got book calls, what is your closing rate? Is it high, low, or are the leads coming in nurtured, or are they like a little skeptical in investing in your offer? What are the conversion tactics you're using that work well, the social proof and the winning elements, so that you can execute on it? These are the metrics you need to analyze, and if you don't analyze these metrics, you will essentially create content that isn't ready to convert. Now, after you've analyzed these metrics and you know exactly what to improve on, the third step is that you create your next improved video, keeping in mind all of the things that you analyzed and you need to improve on. And then the cycle repeats. So video uploaded, metrics analyzed, and then next improved video is created, and then back to uploading another video, and just the feedback loop takes place. Now, most people skip this part, and that's why even if they're pushing out consistent content, they're still not able to make money from it. Now, that's all for today's video. If you're interested in actually working with me, then you can book a call down below. Do subscribe, because I'm going to be pushing out 1 to 2 videos, micro niche YouTube videos per month, which is exactly going to be covering how you can scale your coaching offer through like the social acquisition funnel. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.